Good afternoon, everyone. In case the slides are available, if you can present. Yeah, so it's a great honor to be here presenting to this Augustine guests who are based here, who are real experts around the wheat, please. I would be talking through a little around the exports part, which really goes to our Indian community or the Indian diaspora who are really settled across various countries. Now, if you really look at uh, the Atta consumption is really done by our community who's traveled abroad and settled. And when we really look at this community, it's almost upwards of 30 million people residing in multiple countries. But the large countries where we have really added value and are very respected as a community is in US, UK, Canada, the GCC countries, Singapore, Australia, and New Zealand. These are top key countries, but definitely we are available as a community in many more countries, almost 100 plus countries. Now, while we as a community are adding value to the countries that we have gone and stayed there over a period of multiple generations and are recognized, but I think one thing which binds this community even there is our food habits. Now, whenever I travel, I see that there are multiple generations, at least today about 3 generations who have gone and stayed and lived in the countries, but with every generation, the food habits have passed. While we might have changed in our ways of living there, but our food habits continue to be to consume the Indian food. And that's what binds the community back with the country. And that's the good part about it, that food is really taking care and binding it back to the motherhood, right? And therefore, it is very, very important that we are able to give these consumers, these discerning consumers, what they are really looking at in terms of their consumption through flour. And there could be many products around it. I will not go very much in details on the products, but really flour still becomes a part of our daily consumption need, whether in India or wherever we are settled over a period of generations. If you really go a little deeper to understand what are these consumers, right? The behaviors could be different in India versus where we have settled. And definitely the consumers are discerning but are really looking and trying to ask for products which add convenience to them. While we work through the scratch mechanism, which is making our end products using flour, when we really look at in exports, they are looking at every option available, considering that these consumers are really do not have time as they are involved in the daily course as well as working people. And hence, they have very high paucity in time. And therefore, the consumers are looking at not only when they have time making the end product using scratch mechanism, the flour, but also looking at convenience, whether through the frozen food or the ambient mechanism or the fresh food. And hence, these discerning consumers are looking at the complete portfolio and just not scratch flour. And that's what differentiates the consumption or the consumer needs across the export markets versus India. And where do these consumers really shop? Now, again, a very, very interesting fact when we really look at it. The Indian community largely shops at Indian ethnic stores in majority of the markets, which again these ethnic stores are run by our own Indian entrepreneurs and having people employed who are majorly the Asian diaspora. Therefore, when you really get to these stores, it's like you are entering into an Indian store with the Indian community, shopping for Indian food, engaging with people who are running the store who are broadly Indians, multiple generations stayed there, and employing people who are broadly Indians or Asians. And therefore, suddenly you see that the whole community is coming together and helping each other, right, build in the foreign land through the food route, through the route that we are really consuming. And that's really, when we really go there, we really understand how the bonding is improving away from the country, and it is driven through food. And we also see that as Indian food acceptance is growing, we also see a lot of local consumers who are trying to come towards Indian food, looking at the various benefits that are seen, variety, the kind of food habits that we have different varieties in different regions, and hence giving a lot of options to these consumers. And therefore, we now start seeing that in the mainstream outlets like a Walmart or a Costco, etc., the Indian food products are available. Now, to fight it out, we are also seeing that the Indian ethnic stores are becoming large format. They're becoming hypermarkets. They are giving more variety, more choices. Therefore, for the consumers there, suddenly they are seeing that they are able to see much more Indian food portfolio that they can shop either at the Indian ethnic hypermarkets or in the mainstream stores like a Walmart or a Costco. And that's where these our guys are shopping, and therefore, the consumers are getting more evolved. The retailers are helping them give more choices in the market. And the whole piece around it that revolves is how supply chain, because once they are planning a shop, every retailer has its own set of consumers, right? They are looking at from their lens of consumers. And unlike India, where we really see that we broadly have one size fits all as far as product, packaging, SKUs, pricing mechanism is there. We are seeing changes happening positively thanks to the penetration of e-commerce and modern trade in India, but still largely it is one size fits all that works in India. But that's something that is very, very different, and therefore we definitely look forward for a resilient and adaptive supply chain. As when we really look at the Indian ethnic stores, they are fine with giving the way we give our product in the right packaging that we work in India. But when we really get into a Costco, which is looking at giving higher end products or bulkier products at right price point, they are looking at a specific product for their customers. And therefore, the adaptability of the supply chain should be there, that I need to build a product only for that customer and for the consumers who shop at that customer called Costco. Otherwise, I will not be in the game, right? Similarly for Walmart, when they look at having the right mechanism of reaching the store with minimal intervention of manpower at the ground level, and it seamlessly reaches the shelves where consumers can shop, is an expectation from the supply chain in terms of having the right packaging and the right product mechanism. Therefore, for the same product, going to the same states, going to the same city, may require different portfolio at different customers, which is very coming new to India, but it is highly already been there for many years for the local produce, right? Now, that's adaptability or resilience or agility that really we are looking from a supply chain, which will help us to be relevant in each of the customer points so that we are available to the consumers who are looking for our products. And that's a change that we are clearly seeing, and I think the team has been working hard to find solutions for that, because we have never been accustomed to that kind of working in the local market, right? And this will keep on evolving over a period of time, and I think this will play a large role for the Indian food, how it gets available, not only to the Indian diaspora wherever he's shopping, but as adaptability of Indian food happens to the local diaspora of each of the countries, and thus penetrating our portfolio. And with flour being a part of daily consumption in different formats, whether it is ready to eat, ready to heat, ready to cook, or through the scratch mechanism, would play a very large role in the export market, and could be a very big growing opportunity, and can build a mark for building our exports turnover out of India. So I would like to just take the key takeaways. Broadly, it's a huge opportunity which is evolving with new portfolios coming in and challenging the ways of working. Really understanding our consumer is very important, and where he's shopping, and adapting our supply chain to where the consumer is shopping would be key to success as far as exports for whether flour or other parts of food products are concerned. across the globe. So that's part from me. Thanks.
Thank you, Sundeep. Now I request Shreya Kapoor to take it forward.